What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great today because we've got a packed episode ahead. As always, we're diving deep into all the latest rumors and news surrounding the Dallas Cowboys, and this time, we've got a huge one. Should the Cowboys sign Odell Beckham Jr.? What's the future of head coach Mike McCarthy, and could he be replaced after another disappointing season? Plus, we'll talk about the Cowboys' strategy for the 2024 NFL Draft and who they should target to bolster the roster for years to come. We've got a ton to cover, so grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Let's start with a topic that's been on the minds of Cowboys fans for quite some time now. Odell Beckham Jr. Should the Cowboys sign OBJ? This is a rumor that never seems to go away, and the debate over whether he's a good fit for Dallas continues to be one of the hottest topics. OBJ is still a free agent, and despite coming off some injury struggles, his name is constantly linked to teams in need of a star wide receiver. After his Super Bowl win with the Los Angeles Rams, many thought he'd be a key piece for a contending team, and Dallas is no exception. The idea of adding a dynamic playmaker like Beckham to an offense already featuring CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Brandon Cooks sounds enticing, doesn't it? But the question remains, is it the right move for the Cowboys? On the one hand, Beckham is a proven game changer, and he's a guy who can take over a game when he's fully healthy. He's got the speed, hands, and agility to make big plays down the field, and provide that spark to the offense when things are stagnant. Having someone like OBJ on the field would certainly stretch the defense and open up more opportunities for the Cowboys' other receivers, and even their running backs. However, we also have to acknowledge the potential downsides of bringing him in. OBJ has dealt with significant injuries in recent years, and while he's been working hard to get back to full health, you have to wonder if he's truly past those knee issues. The Cowboys have already dealt with injury concerns in recent years, especially at key positions like quarterback and running back, so is it worth adding another potentially injury-prone player to the mix? That's the big question for Jerry Jones and the front office. If they were to sign him, it would likely need to be a short-term prove-it deal to mitigate the risk. But what do you think, Cowboys fans? Would you sign Odell Beckham Jr., or is the risk just too high? Moving on to another big topic. Mike McCarthy. Is he the right coach for the Cowboys, or is it time for a change? McCarthy has been under a lot of scrutiny over the last couple of seasons, and the pressure on him to lead Dallas to a Super Bowl has never been higher. Sure, McCarthy has gotten the Cowboys to the playoffs, and the team has shown real progress during his tenure, but that's not enough for a fan base that's starving for a championship. The truth is, the Cowboys have been consistently falling short of the Super Bowl since McCarthy took over, and that's starting to get frustrating. It's one thing to get to the playoffs year after year, but it's another thing entirely to take the next step and actually compete for a title. One of the biggest knocks on McCarthy has been his play calling, especially on the offensive side of the ball. There have been times when the Cowboys' offense has looked stagnant and predictable, particularly in high-stakes moments or in the playoffs. We've all seen it. The Cowboys' offense just can't seem to get things going when it matters most. McCarthy, a former Super Bowl winning head coach, was supposed to bring the leadership and experience necessary to push the team past the playoff barrier. Yet, despite the solid regular seasons, the postseason failures continue to pile up, and Cowboys fans are starting to wonder if McCarthy is the man who can get them to the next level. Of course, it's important to note that McCarthy has done a lot of things well, particularly with the development of players like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. But when you have the talent that the Cowboys do, it's hard to ignore the fact that they haven't been able to get over the playoff hump. So, what's next for McCarthy? If the Cowboys continue to fall short in 2024, you can bet that the pressure on him will only increase. Would Jerry Jones actually pull the trigger and move on from McCarthy? The big question for Cowboys fans is, can McCarthy take the Cowboys to the promised land, or is it time to find a new voice? Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the future of this team, the 2024 NFL Draft. The Cowboys front office has done a great job in recent years of building a roster that is competitive, but like every team, there are still areas of the roster that need to be addressed. Whether it's adding depth, getting younger, or bolstering key positions, the draft will be crucial for the Cowboys' long-term success. So, who should the Cowboys target in the upcoming draft to set them up for future success? First off, the offensive line is an area that could use some attention. Sure, the Cowboys have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, but with veterans like Tyron Smith and Zach Martin nearing the end of their careers, the team will need to start thinking about the future. Tyron Smith in particular has dealt with injuries over the past few seasons, and it's unclear how many more seasons he has left in the tank. The Cowboys have already begun to address this by drafting younger players like Tyler Smith, but there's still work to be done. So could we see the Cowboys target a top offensive tackle in the draft? There are some fantastic prospects out there, such as Joe Alt from Notre Dame or Blake Fisher, both of whom could be solid additions to the offensive line. Bringing in a young, talented offensive lineman would not only help protect Dak Prescott, but also provide depth and allow the team to transition smoothly when the older vets start to retire. On the offensive side of the ball, another position that could use some attention is running back. With the departure of Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard has emerged as the lead back, but the Cowboys need to find a solid backup to complement him. Pollard is a dynamic playmaker, but he's not a true power back, and the Cowboys could benefit from someone who can carry the load when needed. The team has always been known for having a strong running game, and adding a back like Braylon Allen or Jahmyr Gibbs could help maintain that identity. These guys bring a combination of speed, power, and vision that could really elevate the Cowboys' offense. If the Cowboys can add another young running back with big playability, they'll have a dynamic backfield that can keep defenses on their toes. And let's not forget about the defense. The Cowboys' defense has been one of the best in the NFL, thanks in large part to players like Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, and DeMarcus Lawrence. However, the secondary could still use some depth, and cornerback is a position that could be addressed in the draft. The Cowboys could target a cornerback like Deonte Banks from Maryland or Kelee Ringo from Georgia. These two players have the size, speed, and skill set to step in and contribute right away. Adding another top-tier cornerback would make an already dominant defense even more dangerous, and it could give the Cowboys more flexibility when it comes to their defensive game plans. The defense is the backbone of this team, and it's important that they continue to build it up with young, talented players who can make an immediate impact. So there you have it, Cowboys Nation. The big rumors and questions surrounding the team. Should the Cowboys sign OBJ? Is Mike McCarthy the right head coach for the future? Who should they target in the 2024 NFL Draft? There's a lot of uncertainty right now, but one thing is for sure. The Cowboys are always in the spotlight, and the decisions made this offseason could have a huge impact on their future. What do you think? Do you want to see the Cowboys bring in OBJ? Is McCarthy the guy to lead Dallas to the Super Bowl? And who are your top draft targets? Let me know in the comments below because I want to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our latest updates on America's team. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, go Cowboys.